Let's react to Eddie Mon's video on should we boycott Nintendo and GTA. Now, I'm going to sit there and say this before I even get into the video. Don't care what Eddie Mon says. He's not going to change my mind. But I'm pretty certain me and him are going to agree on this one. Because one thing I will say when it comes to me and him, even though me and him disagree about a lot of woke stuff, one thing me and him can agree on is we actually do have a common goal for what's good for gamers. And neither of us want to see gamers getting ripped off or people getting ripped off in general, because we also care about movies. So I do have a lot of respect for Eddie Mon that he will sit there and stand on ground that he does want games to be fairly priced. You know, so me and him heavily agree when it comes to Nintendo that we both agree they're out of their damn mind. So as of right now, I will sit there and say that you should boycott the video game of Mario Kart World. Definitely sit there and boycott that one. Under no circumstance should you ever pay $80 for a Nintendo IP. Now, when it comes to the bundle is not too overly priced. Well, no, actually it is overly priced because Japan will sit there and sell theirs for $330. This game should have been no more than $60, so for the bundle should have been $390. So they're selling this for $110 overpriced. That's how bad Nintendo is. Now, when it comes to GTA, if that game is more than $70, I don't care how much. I don't care if it costs $1 billion to make that game or not. That game needs to be boycotted. So let's see what Eddie Mon has to say.
Auto 6 and the Nintendo Switch 2 are hot topic issues right now. From the prices and more, I gotta ask the question: are we heading towards a complete tanking of the industry in the long run due to these two juggernauts? The gaming industry has been holding its breath for GTA 6 like it's the second coming of Christ himself. And Nintendo Switch 2 is so hyped by Nintendo fans, you would think that the console could cure cancer due to how much the Nintendo faithful are already defending this thing, and it's not even out. And while both the Switch 2 and GTA 6 will of course break all the records, I mean, why deny it? We all know that it's true and it will happen. There always comes a caveat with these sorts of mammoth level events. We've all heard the rumors that GTA 6 could very well cost upwards of $100 American, which would clock in well over $130 Canadian for a single game alone. And Switch 2 games are already confirmed to be $80 digitally and $90 physically depending on the games. That's right, fellas. Your wallet's about to get curb stomped harder than a pedestrian in Vice City. So, is this the end of gaming as we know it? Let's break it down. First up,
Nah, I don't think that gaming's over with. As long as the developers are still making money, people are still buying them. I mean, you know, the microtransactions should have shown you right there. Look how much money people spend on microtransactions. They spent well over $80 on a lot of their damn microtransactions. So this is nothing to a lot of them. But I don't know about you, Eddie Mon, but me, I don't really spend a whole lot of money on microtransactions. I don't play the live service. I don't really play too many free to play. The only one I do play right now currently is Marvel Rivals, because there's no reason to. You know, when you actually spend your real money, it's purely on cosmetics, you know, maybe even a new emote, that kind of stuff. There's no reason to really pay for them. There's no like bonus that's going to help you out in the game. So that's why I heavily like Marvel Rivals, and they've shown that they can sit there and do it without ripping off their people, you know. But when it comes to Nintendo, the reason why I'm so angry is because Nintendo has always been the bootleg version of the gaming industry. They have always sold their stuff cheaper than the rest because their stuff wasn't up to the same quality. It wasn't up to the standards of AAA prices. Like I keep saying, their games are like in between indie and AA games. And I'll even be nice and sit there and say that they are AA games. They're not meant to be AAA prices. Even with Mario Kart World, they're going to sell it for an above a AAA price when it's not even it doesn't even have the quality to even be at a AAA game. So that's where the problem lies with Nintendo. Now, Grand Theft Auto, this is more of like a quadruple game, you know, and if it's $100, I don't care. I never played Grand Theft Auto 5. I enjoy Grand Theft Auto, but you know what? I completely skip Grand Theft Auto 5. I can skip Grand Theft Auto 6. I don't care. I am not going to miss it. There is no way that I'm going to pay over $70 for the base version of Grand Theft Auto 6. They are out of their freaking minds.
Grand Theft Auto 6, Rockstar has been teasing this game so long I'm pretty sure my unborn kids are already pre-ordering it. It's set in a fictional Florida called Leonida with a Bonnie and Clyde duo named Lucia and I think Jason, I think that's his name. Anyway, it's poised to be the biggest game ever. Like, make Avengers Endgame look like a community theater production level big. But here's the kicker. Industry insiders are whispering that Rockstar might slap a $100 price tag on the standard edition. $100. For context, that's 2 indie games, a month of Game Pass, and a large pepperoni pizza just for GTA 6 alone. That's crazy, dude. Now, Rockstar's parent company, Take-Two, isn't new to pushing these sorts of things. After all, they were the ones who jacked up NBA 2K21's price to $70 back in 2020, and gamers, unfortunately, ate it up like it was a free buffet, so why $100? Well, they're banking on GTA 6 being a cultural juggernaut, and let's be real, it probably will be. Because, come on guys, you know you're probably gonna buy it, I'm gonna have to buy it for the channel, and my dog's probably gonna buy it with my credit card while I'm asleep. But here's where it gets sort of dicey. If GTA 6...
Honestly, it is easy for someone like me or someone like him to pay for it, because you guys got to realize we both have YouTube channels. We both make money. I got another YouTube channel where I make money, and I'm hopefully soon going to start making money on this channel. So whatever we buy for it, so if he buys that game for it, he gets to write off a portion of it. So the impact for him and me isn't going to be the impact of most gamers, because 99% of gamers don't have a YouTube channel or something like this where they can sit there and write it off for the business. Because I pretty much, I'm not the type of person that replays the games. I play them once and then I move on because I don't got time. I'm a very busy man. There's too many games coming out. I got 2 YouTube channels, a 9 to 5, and a wife. Okay. And anybody that's married knows you got to spend time with the wife. Not just because, I have to. I also enjoy spending time with her, but you have to. You have to spend time with them or you're not going to stay married.
Normalizes $100 games, every publisher from EA to Ubisoft, they're all gonna follow suit faster than you can say microtransaction hellscape, unfortunately. Because imagine a world where every AAA game now costs somewhere in the $90 to even $100 American range. Realistically, this is just not feasible for most players because not everyone has the expendable income to drop that much on a single video game, no matter how much they want it. The defense of more expensive games is already happening. Look at Nintendo Switch 2 right now. That whole reveal is a war zone of epic proportions. Everybody is just fighting with each other, claiming that there's no way that Nintendo can get away with what they're doing, but the sad fact is that if there's any fan base in gaming that is loyal, it's Nintendo fans, for better and definitely for worse too. Because we always talk about it in this space, how players are enabling these companies to get away with literal murder, and with Nintendo fans, it's always true, unfortunately. You got comments like this one where a guy says a Mario Kart World will be worth the $80 that you spend on it, or $90 I guess physically. And listen, I have no doubt that the latest Mario Kart will be a feature-complete game that will run well, and all of that. It's not really the issue for me.
They do have a lot of loyal fan base, but the thing is, I don't know how much these games cost Nintendo to make because Nintendo doesn't release them, but there's no way that I do not believe this game is going to sell nearly as well as as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. No way, not a chance. Because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was sold at $60, so it was very reasonable, especially compared to the PS5 and not really the Xbox. If we're being honest, Xbox has the best value for your money. But when it comes to PS5 and a lot of the AAA games, they were selling them at $70. You can get on the Nintendo Switch, was a very fun game to play, at $60, so $10 cheaper. Plus, I think a lot of times you can get on sale for $50. So you were getting them pretty reasonably cheap. Their system itself was cheaper. It was a $300 system, very reasonably priced. And so that's why that game sold so much, and they marketed that game to hell and back. And I honestly sat there and told many people it's a fun game. But the problem with this one is now they're selling them above the standard industry pricing of $70 for AAA games, and AA games are still going for $50. And now Nintendo wants to sell their IPs, which are barely even qualified to be a AA game, and now they're trying to charge them at $80, $90. Okay, so over that. Now, whenever it comes to me, I have sat there and said this many times. At a $70 game, you need to get 20 hours out of that game. Okay, now with Mario Kart, you're going to get a lot of multiplayer, so some people will get their time out of this game, but for a $90 game or even an $80, you got to get you got to get at least 35 hours of gameplay out of that game. And I know, because I don't play a lot of multiplayer stuff, I know that there's no way I can get that value. So definitely for me, there's no value in it. But I do sit there and understand what he says when it comes to the fanboys. I don't care. I'll call them fanboys. The fanboys and girls keep coming at me. I get so many comments, so much hate from them sitting there saying like, it is worth it. No, it is not worth it. You can justify it all you want. You make no sense.
The problem is that while yes, good games or great ones can probably maybe justify these larger price points, it's the fact that everything else that isn't of the same quality is going to follow suit now that Nintendo has blown the horn to advance the prices. And I'm telling you that once GTA 6 finally has a concrete release date, that's when we'll know if this industry is heading towards an inevitable crash or not, because GTA 6, like Switch 2, are going to massively overperform, no matter what. But the fact of the matter is that the games industry, like any other, enjoys following whatever trends will make them the most money. This is why we all went through years of every company under the sun releasing their very own battle royales when they were popular, and most of them, they don't even exist anymore. And some trends are far harder to follow through with than others, like for example, releasing feature-complete games that don't immediately implode the moment you try to play it. But if there's one very easy trend, it's just simply hitting delete on your keyboard and putting that dollar symbol from a 7 to an 8 or a 9 instead. And let's be real, I fully expect every single publisher, company, and everyone else to follow suit once the Switch 2 releases this June with their obviously inflated price point.
No, I do agree with you. After GTA, I do think that a lot of companies are going to try to follow suit. I just really hope that GTA will stick. If GTA sticks with the $80 price point, then yeah, I do think they're going to go up to $80. Going to be a lot of bitching and moaning. I'll continue to keep bitching and moaning, but I draw a line at $70. I don't need to buy every new game that comes out there. You know, I am perfectly satisfied getting the ones on Game Pass to come out on day one, and I am perfectly fine with waiting for a new game to come out. You know, this year alone, there were only 2 games that are real. Well, they're Borderlands 4, but I'm telling you what, if Borderlands 4 comes at $80, no, I'm not paying $80 for Borderlands 4. Don't care. The only game I probably would have sat there and paid $80 for was maybe Monster Hunter Wilds, which after I played, I'm really glad that I didn't sit there and spend $80, because even though I love the game, it wasn't worth no $80. It wasn't enough content to justify that damn price point, but the game was still fun. But Monster Hunter, I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan. I love Monster Hunter. But I'm not worried the gaming industry is going to go under, because what's going to happen is you're going to have new people buying out the IP. Something, you know, the gaming industry isn't going to go away. There is a lot of money to be made in the gaming industry. The problem is you have all these companies want to do this quick get rich scheme, you know, like with Sony doing the live service BS, and now you have Nintendo doing their bullcrap. The thing is that, you know, if they ever do go under, someone will buy them out, somebody will replace them, and the gaming industry will just continue on. Because how bad life sucks right now, people need an outlet to escape the real world. And you can do that through movies, and you can do that through gaming. And right now, gaming is still far better than the movies are with the trash stuff they keep coming out with. Now, that's it for my reaction, because if I continue going on, this is going to be like an hour to 2 hour long video. When it comes to this bullshit with Nintendo and Rockstar now, I can sit there and talk for hours about this, and you don't want to hear me ramble on for that long. So if you did enjoy my video, please give it a like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay vigilant.